Good afternoon everybody, and welcome to a brand new video. Today's video is actually inspired by Welham Orchard. They made a chicken pie using the chunky chicken in white sauce, some mixed vegetables, some new potatoes and some puff pastry. So I'm basically going to show you what they did. So I've got the Just Essentials mixed vegetables. I'll make sure prices are in the description for this. So I've put just a few in the bottom of my tray. Now you may be thinking that looks like not much at all, but to be honest, I didn't want to add too many because it is going to go in the oven. So I'm going to tip the chunky chicken on the top, and then the potatoes are kind of a side dish. So you can put extra things in. So I just put the chunky chicken on the top of there, and then we put the pastry on the top, and the potatoes just are my side kind of dish. So I'm going to tip that on the top, and then I'll give it a mix. And then what I'll do is I'll boil the new potatoes, and I'll show you the pie before it goes in the oven, and then once it goes in the oven. So enjoy. Okay, so I've just put the chicken into the pie dish. I'm going to give this a mix around. Now I am doing this one-handed, so it's going to be a bit awkward to start with. So you basically just give it a good mix around. The chicken, I will make sure the price is in the description. But this was inspired by Welham Orchard, so if you haven't already, please check them out. But yeah, you give this a bit of a mix, and then you cover it in your puff pastry, which I'm going to get out of the fridge in just a moment. The puff pastry isn't the essentials range, but I don't think it's that expensive compared to what you could potentially be paying. So I'll make sure I include that. But basically what I'll then do is cover that in puff pastry, put the potatoes in the pan and boil them. This will go in the oven for, I think I did it for about 20 odd minutes last time. I'll check the pastry, see how long the pastry says to cook it for. Give it a good bake in the oven, and then it'll be ready with the potatoes. And then I have got some Just Essentials gravy granules, which I'm just going to grab actually. I've got some Just Essentials gravy granules, which I'll use just as like a sauce for the pie. So once it's all done, I'll get a picture of it, and then I'll give you a little review at the very end. Okay, so I've used some of the Asda ready rolled puff pastry. There is quite a lot in there. It says 375 grams. I did get this out of the freezer though, so I have used a proportion of it, and the rest I'm going to use for something else. But what I would suggest you do is perhaps cut it into pieces, and then put each piece maybe in a sandwich bag, or roll it up into a sandwich bag, and then you can use it in multiple increments, because obviously I've taken the whole thing out of the freezer now, so I'm going to have to use it. The potatoes are on the hob, bubbling, you know, they're not bubbling yet, but they will be. But again, I'll make sure the prices are in the description. So I've got the puff pastry there. Going to make up the gravy when the pie is actually ready. It does say to bake the pastry for 12 to 15 minutes, so I'm probably going to give the oven like 15 minutes, maybe a bit longer, to crispen up the pastry on the actual pie. But I will basically give it approximately 20 minutes, have a look at it, and then I'll try and do a review once the pie is done. But what I am going to do really quickly is just something I did last time, which was I just make 3 holes on the top of the pie, just so it's got a bit of steam. A bit of space for steam to escape. So see you shortly. Hello. So just wanted to quickly show you what it looks like. So that's obviously the pie and the potatoes. Tastes really good. The filling itself is nice and hot. The pastry is nice and crispy. I did have a tiny piece that you can't see, but I have really enjoyed it. So I will be making this again. I'll make sure it's in the description as to what else, how much I spent on the entire meal. But again, it's a really good meal to have, so I hope you enjoy.